Yeah. What's up? I got another baller with me. Cincinnati wide receiver Alec Pierce has joined Chris Simms Unbuttoned. What's up, dude? How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. So, you're not in your dorm. It doesn't look like. Where are you at right now? You're at home. You're at your childhood bedroom right now.
Now this is my school.
Okay.
We had a house at school. Me and my boys. Yeah, so
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You and your boys.
it's pretty
Okay.
nice though. Yeah.
All right.
hmm
Good. With teammates, they guys on the team, or are they just normal college kids?
mostly teammates. We got a couple other normal college kids, but mostly teammates. Yeah.
All right. So wait, I know you're outside. You grew up outside of Chicago. I
Mhm.
saw before we zoomed in on your tight shot here. I saw your bed. I saw you had
Yeah.
Michael Jordan with the wingspan picture there. Like, I guess
Mhm.
you're. I guess you have to be a Bulls fan, right?
Yeah.
It,
Gotta be.
that's but you're like you were born post Michael Jordan. So how
Yeah.
much do you know about Michael Jordan, his career, and everything like that?
I mean, I know. Like, I watched the documentary that came out. I think it was called The Last Dance, right?
Right.
Um, I watched that documentary over quarantine with my brothers and my dad, and especially my dad. Like, he had lived through all of it. It was pretty cool to see. But yeah, for me, I mostly grew up during like the D Rose era for the Bulls. Like when he was like winning,
Yeah,
when he
kick
won MVP that one year.
MVP,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, he was sick,
so
right? No doubt.
yeah, it
All
was really
right.
cool.
So are you all Chicago sports? I mean, who we rooting for in baseball? And are you a Bears fan too?
I was a Cubs fan, and then I was actually grew up a Packers fan.
What?
My
What?
dad,
What the
yeah,
hell is wrong with you?
my my dad's family, they're from Wisconsin, so they kind of raised me on football, and they got me up to Lambeau early,
Okay.
and I was just kind of always a Packers fan since.
All right, so that's a suitable answer. Okay, since you have family that's from there, and then okay, that works. I can understand that.
Mm,
Cubs, cool. I want to go to Wrigley Field really bad. It's on my bucket list. I got to do that. Um,
yeah.
Talk about football. What age did you start playing? What age did you realize like, wow, I love this sport and I want to do this maybe for the rest of my life?
I started playing. I think it was tackle. Uh, in like third grade, I had to play up though because I weighed too much. So that was kind of interesting. That was kind of when I think you know, maybe people realized I might have a little bit of potential because I made the even though I was playing up and it was my first year playing, I made like the top team. I honestly think people, my dad and people were expecting me to be on like it was like gold and silver were the two levels, and
Right.
I ended up making the gold team because they said I ran the fastest 40 at tryouts, whatever that was, and probably
Oh,
like a six
wow.
something second 40 as a state. Yeah, so who knows what it was running, but it was like you know was the fastest kid out there, even though I was a year younger than all the kids. So I ended up making the gold team, and yeah, I always grew up playing defense. I played like a lot of like safety, linebacker. So yeah,
You,
kind of started playing receiver in high school,
high
like
school?
later high school. Yeah, like my junior year of high school.
Okay, so yeah, receiver, little league football. You're not getting the ball that much, anyways. It doesn't matter.
Nah,
Like, were you playing receiver, or were you like just the fastest guy, so they put you at running back and said, "Here's the ball."
yeah, that's why I play like I think I played like running back and linebacker growing up. Just
Yeah,
like
right.
go tackle guys and go run the ball.
So I know just reading up on you, you're a phenomenal high school athlete. Football,
Mhm.
basketball, volleyball, track. First off, like you had to double up there with some of them. Like, how did you even pull that off for sports? Was there any other thoughts of trying to play college sport other than football? When you were going through high school.
Yeah, so like initially I played basketball and volleyball along with football because basketball's winter, volleyball's spring. So I did volleyball then for 3 years. And then my senior year I did track instead. I figured it was, gonna get me ready for
For
college more.
football.
And I yeah, I always loved track growing up, and I just wasn't able to do it with volleyball. Because volleyball was really like you said, I was considering going to play volleyball in college. I thought I had a legitimate shot at playing that in college, and scholarships aren't too like like they only get a couple scholarships for a
Yeah,
bunch of guys on the team. But
right.
yeah, I would have had a chance if I continued pursuing volleyball to play it. So I was kind of on that track. So I had dropped basketball after my freshman year, and I was playing club volleyball in the winter. But yeah, I did that, and that was probably my second best sport behind football.
Right. And like, all right, I mean, you're vert, first off, you're what I would call a white boy supreme, all right? They just don't make many white boys that can run and jump like you. It is
Yeah,
amazing. I mean, I know you're 40 and a half inch vertical at the combine for all those out there who didn't know. And I mean, obviously you could spike a ball, but like I mean, any dunk you want, can you basically do on the basketball court?
yeah, I can do a lot of them. I don't have the best. I got to work on the ability. Being able to do like the cool things like in between legs, stuff like that. Because I
Right.
think it's just because I didn't play basketball like that.
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
really got those down because both my brothers are going to be college basketball players, and they can do a lot cooler things, even though I can jump better than them. They're 6'6", and they have a basketball in their hand every day, so they can do like in between the legs and stuff like that.
Damn, yeah, you gotta hold the ball more. So wait, who's the athlete in the family here? Mom, dad? Tell me about the background here. I didn't know brothers
Yeah,
were 6'6" and playing college basketball and doing that crap too. So somebody's a baller in
yeah.
the family.
Now, my mom and dad they met at Northwestern. They both played sports there. My mom played volleyball. My dad played football there. And if you ask them, they will say my mom is the real athlete. My mom is. I think I'm more like my mom. She's 5'11", and she said she could dunk a tennis ball. So she was super athletic as a volleyball player. Um, and that's probably where I get my bounce from. I think my dad he was a quarterback, and then he changed to tight end. So, but he also had opportunities. I think he thought until signing day, I think he thought he was going to play basketball in college. So like he's kind of one of those guys, like that can really do everything. He's good at all sports.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty good lineage there you got as
yeah,
far as the family, no
yeah,
doubt about it. All right, so at
for
football,
sure.
that what year was it? High school, where you just went, okay, wait, all of a sudden like the lights are on, everybody's coming after me. I'm
Yeah.
tall, I'm fast as hell. When did it become real that you went, all right, wait, I might have a real future? Sophomore, junior year? When did you kind of realize it?
My junior year, I grew a bunch going into my junior year, and that was part of the reason I made the change from safety to receiver. I was like, kind of probably outgrew the position of receiver or of safety. And we had a good safety on our defense, and it was going to be hard to beat him out because I didn't play in varsity as a sophomore. That's how they do in Illinois. You play freshman, then you play sophomore, and so like we didn't have any sophomores
Got
pulled up
you.
to
Right.
varsity. Um, and yeah, so they needed a receiver, so I was like, naturally, I kind of had a receiver build at that point. I was like, I'll give it a try. Like I've always, enjoyed like catching the ball and running. Like I do a little bit of that growing up, but yeah, I made the change. But unfortunately, I broke my collarbone on like it was we practiced in the summer. We practiced in June. I broke my collarbone on the second day of practice, so I missed like all that summer and came back sometime in August. So it was a little bit of a challenge, to get like a new position, new like didn't know any of the plays really because I hadn't been repping them like all the other kids had been all summer. So it took me a second, but kind of by midway through the season, I had kind of established myself as like the go-to guy. And I remember I ended my first year with 10 catches for 420 yards. That was my like regular season stats. So 42 yards a catch. So wasn't getting the ball, a whole lot, but when I was,
It
it was
me making it
probably
count.
yeah. So but yeah, then I had a ton more catches in the playoffs, and we were like we were a pretty high seed. Like no one expected us to go far. We ended up going to the semifinals and had a nice little run, knocked off some good teams. And that was when, like, right after the season, teams started coming and talking to my coaches and calling me down and talking to me. And that was when I realized like I could play college football because
Right.
they would pull up my film and they'd see me run past a kid and they'd be like, yeah, we recruiting this kid right here. Like he ran a 4.5 flat at our camp, and it was just me like blowing right past him. So you get things like that,
Well,
just let you
that's
know,
what
like,
led me to you. I mean, that's
yeah,
what led me to you. That's why you're here with me.
mhm,
You're one of my top 5 receivers in it. No, not one because
mhm,
yeah, you made it count when you did catch the ball with, big time plays. But damn, all the amount of times where you didn't get the ball and I felt like, damn, he's open. He blew by the guy. I don't know why the ball didn't go
mhm,
there. So that is ultimately what led me to you. Now, let me ask you this just
mhm.
before I get into some of this stuff and we get football. You know, what's are you surprised? I'm a little surprised. You're one of those guys that I classify to go, I don't know. I see the guy, he's 6'3", he runs 4 flat, he can jump, he runs by, good route runner. You play through contact. I mean, are you surprised that you're not getting a little bit more attention maybe on the national scene for what you've done and what you are as an athlete?
Um, Not necessarily. I mean, I think it's nothing's changed. I just kind of always been this way. I was under recruited out of high school a little bit, and was kind of the same deal. Like I would go to camps and run the fastest 40, be the most athletic guy out there, get open in one-on-ones, and wouldn't get any offers. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of always been this way. So it's not bothering me. Like, I just feel blessed enough that I've opened enough eyes, and I'm like, know that I'm going to be drafted, but it's just at what point.
Yeah, I know you are going to be drafted. It is at what point?
Mm,
I don't know. I mean, I'm one of those guys that thinks you should certainly go in the first 2 rounds. I know that. Now,
mm,
all right. Before I ask you some NFL questions, I want to get into just like Cincinnati there. Like, first off, unbelievable year. Congratulations for all that. But like,
yeah, thank you.
are you ever like amazed when you sit back and think about it? Like Cincinnati, the amount of freaking guys that you got going in the NFL and how talented the team is. It to
Mm.
me has been amazing through the draft evaluation process. It's got to amaze you.
Oh, for sure. I think it's just a credit to how hard we've worked, and the coaches for not only developing guys, but also finding the right players, and bringing in the right guys with the talent and the ability to be able to make it to the next level. And I think you'll see, like, it's not just going to be this year. There probably won't be as many guys as we have this year, just with how many like seniors we had coming out and guys that took extra years. But there'll be continue to be a steady crop of guys coming out of Cincinnati that are getting drafted early.
It seems that way. I mean, just the look of the
Mm,
team, definitely. I mean, specifically your secondary. I mean, the whole damn secondary is going to go in the NFL here this year, and
yeah,
I do want to
yeah.
talk about that. You and Sauce, right? I mean, what was that
Mm.
like? You and Sauce on a daily basis going up at each other at practice. What did that do for your
Yeah.
game?
It helped my game tremendously. Yeah, we would take every rep against each other. We both played to the boundary. So yeah, like 99% of the reps were lining up against each other. And it's just great, like especially in camp and stuff. Like it gets super competitive, and he's the type of guy, like, he's every day he's bringing the same energy, the same like work ethic. Like it could be the day before the game and we don't even have pads on, and he's still trying to jam me, out of bounds and stuff. So he's a competitor, and I think he's done wonders for my game, and I hope I've done the same for him too.
Yeah, like what is it like?
Mm,
What's so other compared to other DBs you've lined up across or whatever?
mm.
What makes Sauce that special guy? What's the thing that bothered you, about him in practice that he could do to you to disrupt your game?
I'd say his length. He's super long. And then he's very, like, for how kind of like how wiry he's built. He's pretty strong with his like hands and,
It
his
seems like it,
punch. So
right?
yeah, like no other team. Like when I get to the game, it would feel like even if a guy was pressing me, it wouldn't feel like they're pressing me just because of how Sauce would press in practice. Like Mod, like he's always like crowding the line as much as he could, and bringing like a two-hand punch right away. So you almost like gotta say, like, forget the release. You just gotta try to get his hands off you,
Right.
and don't let him make contact, because he's trying to disrupt you right away.
Yeah, strong hands, quick as hell feet. Like, all right, so outside of him, though, you talking like guys
Mm.
you've had to face in college football. Who else gave you issues? Anybody else jump out to you as a player that you just went, ooh, when I faced him, he was the real deal?
Um, I couldn't from this year. I couldn't like this year. I can't really think of
Nobody
anyone.
jumps out.
Nobody really jumps out. I thought maybe in years past UCF had some pretty good cornerbacks.
Right, the kid Robinson
Um,
or the kid that got drafted by the Giants. I'm blanking on his name. You're right. It's Robinson, I'm pretty sure. But yes, I hear you. They got some
mhm.
speed there, right?
Yeah, they always just have, they're always guys who roll up and play man, press man, and they're all for some reason they always have big athletic corners.
Right.
So
All right.
similar to Ahmad.
So, like you, Mr. Green Bay Packers fan, like oddly enough, which I
Yeah.
didn't even know, I when I turned on the film and watched you a little bit, I just went, well, this is Jordy Nelson. It's just like a better
Mhm.
version of Jordy Nelson coming out of college. Uh, who do you model your game after in the NFL? Who was your favorite wide receiver growing up?
Well, as a Packers fan, I like Jordy a lot. I watched like a ton of, down driver, Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, and then more up to like Devontae. And yeah, some of the more recent guys. But I was a big Randy Moss fan. I love Randy Moss. Love watching all his highlights growing up. Um, Julio Jones, especially early in his career, just seeing like what these bigger guys can do and like how athletic they can be, especially after the catch. That's something I'm trying to emulate more of, and be better after the catch. And I think I can learn a lot of that from Julio. AJ Green. AJ Green was another guy I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
I love his combination of size and speed. So like he can also that's kind of how I feel about myself, where I can like run by people, but I can also go up and get it over the top of them, which just makes me an elite vertical threat. I think my catch radius is probably one of the most like undervalued things or underestimated things about me, because there are some guys who are probably taller than me. Like I'm 6'3", and there's probably some receivers that are a little bit taller than that, but like I have really long arms, and as you saw at the combine, I had the highest vertical of all receivers. So I'm
Right.
sure I got the biggest catch radius out of all these receivers in the draft class.
I would imagine so. I would. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, you have a similar body style, AJ Green. He's probably a little taller than you, but I hear
Yeah,
you there. That's so.
yeah,
So you like to watch the guys that have a similar style or play type to you for
mm,
sure. You're not
for sure.
you're not studying Debo Samuel a whole lot because you're not sure if you're
Nah.
gonna. I got you. All right, so like you have a favorite receiver in the NFL right now. I know you said Julio and AJ, but they're getting up there in years.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite right now?
I like DK Metcalf a lot.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite current.
Okay.
Or Justin Jefferson.
I could see that too. You got some similarities
Yeah.
there as well. All right. So, like in your game,
Mhm.
like your estimation, what you talked about, like yards after catch or more after the catch, is that the number one thing you'd like to improve on, in your NFL career?
Yeah, that and my technique, like running routes, just like cleaning everything up, getting cleaner in and out of breaks.
Yeah, yeah. So those are the two things you work on, and like
Mm.
as far as your process right now, you just sitting back, you doing Zoom meetings with teams. What's life like for Alec Pierce right now?
Yeah, just getting up, working out, and then doing Zoom calls whenever I got them scheduled.
All right, so freaky man workout here. Like you got, like, all right, what like your diet? Like, are you to the T with the diet? Like where you're like it's perfect, or are you like I'm so gifted, I eat all the shit I want and it doesn't really matter. I still got a six pack and I'm ripped.
I enjoy eating healthy, but I haven't been. I was eating all like the meal preps and stuff they had for me on training. And I was pretty strict with that. But more recently, I'm back at college with my buddies. We're
Good.
going and getting whatever they're eating. So yeah, I'm not too strict on it. I guess I probably got I don't know how many years left I got of eating whatever I
You
want.
got like 7 or 8. You're still good. It's in the late 30s,
Yeah.
man. I'll just tell you as an ex-NFL player myself, when you get around there, then you got to start watching it a little bit.
All right. All
Um,
right.
all right. I want to know about you a little bit. Music. All
Yeah.
right. When you're going to get burger and fries with the friends there at school, what are you jamming in the
Mm.
car?
Kanye's probably my favorite artist.
Kanye? Okay.
Kanye, yeah, I got. I don't know if you saw a poster up here. I got
Well,
a
yeah,
poster.
he's Chicago too, so I understand
Yeah.
that. I get it. All right.
Mm,
All right. All right. So
mm.
so that's Kanye's your favorite. You're going to play Kanye even before the game. He's the one that gets you hyped, like all that too?
Um, Before the game, nah, I probably wouldn't play Kanye before the game. Probably listen to more like J. Cole or something like that.
Somebody like that. Okay. All right. And then
Mm.
like what about like some females? Like what's who you got there in that department? You know, I told some guys before, I like when I want to relax on a Friday night, I like to hear a beautiful woman voice.
You
Right.
like, yeah,
You know?
okay.
So like do you got one there, you know? Or do you just put on Taylor Swift or Katy Perry? I don't know what you're doing.
So some Katy Perry. Listen, yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe I need to broaden out
Yeah,
and
but
listen
you're
to
in a
more
college.
females.
Yeah, well, you guys are
Yeah.
afraid to listen to the females, and you don't want to seem soft with your macho dorm house you got over
Yeah.
there. All right, and then always want to know, like, gonna get some cash here soon. What's first on like the docket as far as what are you gonna spoil yourself with? Car, watch? I mean, you got to do something young and
Yeah.
stupid with your first paycheck.
Yeah. I've never had a car and I love cars. Cars like are one of my biggest interests and passions and things like I'm interested in. So I definitely got to get a car and
All right.
treat myself with that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
treat yourself with what? Go ahead. Let me hear what you're gonna get.
Something German. I'm deciding. It depends on what climate I go, what type of car I'm gonna get. But I like Audi and BMW a lot.
Yeah, yeah. You
I
can.
don't think I'm old. I don't think I'm old enough for the Benz.
Oh, you can
Just
do
trying.
it. You
Just.
can do it. Don't you worry. The Benz, it lasts the test of time. You can't go wrong with any of the three, though. That's for sure.
Mm,
Yeah. All
yeah.
right. So you got the car. You got Kanye. We got that food. Like nothing crazy. You got a girlfriend? Anything like that? You got working with right now? Or
Yeah.
You are. Okay.
I have a girlfriend. Yeah, I do.
All right.
Her name's Madison.
Good. I want to know about Alec Pierce. I'm just getting to know all about it. All right. Cool, man. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I know I took enough of your time. I really, really appreciate your game, man. You're big time.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think you're going to kick some ass in the NFL. Best of luck with everything, man. And thanks for spending a little time with me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, Alec. Kick ass, man. Peace out.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.